I am super, super excited for this conversation. Now, I know, I say it all the time. And why do I always say that? Just because I'm always excited to be here and share conversations with you that could be the very thing that transforms your life to a whole other level that you might not even be aware of. And this is one of those conversations because a lot of people really miss out on some of the greatest opportunities within their lives. And it is like, well, I'm going to make the assumption that most of you that come onto these shows, if you haven't, then you need to be doing this. But I'm going to make the assumption that most of you have read Think and Grow Rich at least one time. I have gone through Think and Grow Rich probably 300 times, and it is a book that I have studied thoroughly. Why? Because Success Leaves Clues and Think and Grow Rich is probably the book that is more responsible for creating more millionaires than any other book out there, right? And the reason I bring up Think and Grow Rich is because there's a story in there about stopping 3 feet from gold. And a lot of people end up doing the same thing. Now, everything I teach is from experience, right? So when I say something, understand that it has been part of my journey as well. And there has been so many times that I have had doubt come up and stop me from stepping into an incredible level of potential. And then I had to go back to what was familiar, all that before I had something else that motivated me to step out back into another level of expansion, right? And the statistics are everywhere, right? And so success and failure leaves clues, right? And some of the greatest information out there is literally knowing what not to do, right? And so many people get caught up in this. Well, I don't know how I can support people because I've screwed up so many areas of my life. Well, if you can shorten somebody's learning curve, that is something that is incredibly valuable, right? Because what ends up costing us more are the things that can get very, very expensive, right? And that's one of the most expensive ways to learn is through experience. So I show people how to shorten their learning curve, first of all, by getting them out of the way and really finding out what is their inner programming that's keeping them from stepping into their greatness, right? Because sudden wealth syndrome is real. So what is sudden wealth syndrome? Sudden wealth syndrome. By the way, if you're just checking in here, type in if you're watching this live or you're watching this a replay. Also, tell me where you're checking in from. I always like to know where all my friends and family are checking in from. I consider everybody that jumps on here my family because I love and appreciate each and every one of you. So sudden wealth syndrome is basically you have a lot of wealth come into your life and you're not able to how it lands on you is it makes you feel so uncomfortable that you do everything you can to get rid of it, right? So that you can go back to what's familiar. And this is what we call inertia, right? Like 85% of lottery winners file bankruptcy within 5 years of winning the lottery. Why? Because they go back to what's familiar. Because we create in our lives what we believe we deserve. Let me repeat that. We create in our lives what we believe that we deserve, right? So my question to you is, what is your level of deservedness, right? And the reason why the sudden wealth syndrome happens is it because it animates our imposter syndrome, right? And we all have an imposter syndrome, every single one of us. And to think that you don't is willful ignorance, right? Like we have imposter syndrome. And how you find out how your imposter syndrome shows up, start expanding beyond what you're comfortable with, right? And it'll show up loud and clear. And we go into self-sabotage and all these wonderful things that keep us playing at the level that we are comfortable with, right? So the thing that is so important is, are you able to focus on the process and focus on the journey so that you go through whatever you need to go through in order to become the person that is prepared to handle what it is that you are seeking to create, right? Are you able to stay in that process? Are you able to stay committed long enough for you to become and expand and have the awareness to sustain whatever it is that you want to create? Like, friends, what I just said there is massively, massively important, right? Because as you expand, and you start attracting things in your life, you're going to get very in touch with what you believe you deserve. And if you don't believe you deserve what it is that you're creating, guess what? You're going to destroy it and going to go back to what is familiar for you, right? And so that's a great question. And friends, understand, this isn't your fault. Like, this isn't, you're not to blame for all this. There's lots of other things that have been responsible for this, because we have been conditioned by an educational system that has taught us to comply, to conform, to not reach on out other people, do not ask questions, stay in your little box, do not think outside of it, do not ask for support, do not reach out, ask questions that are outside of the model. If you fail, you're worthless, you get shamed by your tribe. Failing is the absolute most humiliating thing that you can ever do in your life. Like, this is what our educational system has taught us, right? And this is where the quote that I've said many, many, many times: doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. And doubt is very good friends with guilt, right? And so this is a big part of what is intertwined with our imposter syndrome, right? Is and friends, it can be so simple. It can be so simple. Is you hearing a conversation about your parents around money, right? And of course, as a child, we don't have the cognitive ability to even really understand what money is, especially if nobody told us what it was like. And we're watching our parents have a very heated argument, and say the dad gets really upset and starts screaming at the mom, and the mom is crying, getting super emotional, and you're sitting there as a child, again, not even understanding what's really going on, but all you see is an incredible amount of energy around that experience, and you go, I don't ever, ever, ever want to experience that. And then you judge money, thinking that money was the cause of that. How do you think that's going to impact your ability to attract money in your life? Massively. Massively, right? Like the stories I can tell you, what I've worked with my clients on changing their inner programming around money has been astonishing. Like, I am astonished what people, not only what people have the ability to go through and face and endure, but I'm also astonished about the ability of how naive people really are when they're raising children, right? Like, they are totally oblivious to how that child is being impacted. Again, not their fault. Nobody taught them how to do it, right? But when a child basically, in the first couple of years of their life, everything is interpreted through energy. Everything is interpreted through frequency and vibration. They don't understand what communication is. They don't understand what it means to pay bills. They don't understand why dad is so stressed out because he's working all the time, and they don't understand any of this stuff. So how they make sense of this is like, this has to do with me, right? And then they infuse this into their psychic, into their nervous system. And then so when a bunch of money comes into their life, it freaks them out. It freaks them out, right? And so this is what's so important about figuring out what is it that you are truly, truly committed to. Okay? We don't get what we want. Hear what I'm saying? You want to write this one down, because this is really, really important. We don't get what we want. We get what we are committed to. Okay. Well, what do you mean by that, Jeff? Well, if you are seeking a goal, let's just use a goal. This is why goals don't work, right? Goals will only get you so far. And most people set goals that are based on their level of what they believe is their ability to expand, right? And so when we start moving towards a goal, we start finding out what we have been committed to that has kept us playing at the level that we've been playing. Okay. Now, what ends up happening in that, a lot of these things that we have committed to, this is where I say our environment is stronger than our willpower, right? Because if you're in an environment that is not aligned and congruent with what you want to create, guess what that environment's going to do? That environment is going to fight for where it's at, right? And we are homeostasis. So we want to balance out. We want to harmonize and things like that. So if you're in an environment that's not supporting you in stepping into your greatness, and your environment thinks, well, if this person steps into their greatness, I'm going to lose a friend, I'm going to lose a partner, I'm going to lose whatever, that environment is going to do everything it can to keep you playing small. Now, in that situation, you're going to have to really get in touch with, what are you committed to? right? Am I committed to keeping this relationship alive now, or am I really committed to creating what it is that I want to create? And see, we are well, hopefully we are always evolving, right? And self-evolving people will always push into the storm. They understand that in order for me to keep evolving, there's going to be things that I must let go, I must expand, I must be flexible on, in order for me to achieve what it is that I truly desire to achieve, right? And see, friends, this is the crazy part about this. All of this happens subconsciously, and your subconscious is going to serve you the way it believes you want to be served. Okay. So, Helen, it is so great to see you. So, think about this. I had a fellow colleague, hypnotherapist, that had a client up in San Francisco, and this guy was building a very, very, very successful career, business, his own business. And he kept sabotaging it, and they couldn't figure out why. Well, they put him in trance and got to see that he had a girlfriend that lived up in Washington. And so the subconscious went, I want to be with her more than I want to build a business. So what it was doing, every time the business started succeeding, he would start sabotaging it, because where his heart truly was to be with her. Right. So once they got that dialed in and figured out, well, if I build this business, that I can sell it, I can work from up there, whatever, everything got aligned and congruent, and he was able to create what he really wanted to create. Right. Now, this is how your subconscious works. And if it believes that money is going to cause breakdowns, then guess what? You're going to have an aversion to attracting it, and maybe not attracting it, but keeping it. Right. Like some of the clients that I've worked with, they have made decisions around money that money was more important than them as a child, right? Like I had one guy that would create multiple six figures a year, and then he would get rid of it all. I mean, he would almost get to the point where he was making seven figures a year. And when I met him, he was actually in the basement of a house and barely getting by, in a very, very unhealthy relationship, had no power, right? Had just gone through a horrific divorce. We started doing some work and found out that he had subconsciously made the decision that, he was raised in a house by an entrepreneur. His dad was an entrepreneur, and his dad worked all the time. But see, as a child, we don't understand that the dad is doing everything he can to provide for the family. He made a decision that his dad loved money more than him. Makes totally childhood logic sense, right? And so why would we want to track something in our lives that we believe is more, that my dad valued more than me, right? And then there's this other part of us that wants to attract it, because then, well, dad will be proud of me, right? So we have all these conflicting parts that are within us. Well, if you try to chase two rabbits and see how effective that is, right? So this is where it's important to get all this stuff aligned so that we can be congruent and consistent, right? Which is what this whole conversation is about, is because if we don't really understand our inconsistencies, then we are going to keep creating the same things that keep feeding the same paradigms that we've always fed, right? And so how much would it be worth to you to find out what's going on subconsciously, how to get it aligned, and how to get it congruent and in harmony and in resonance with what it is that you actually want to create? How much would that be worth to you? Right now, like, that's a very valid question, right? Because everybody, and I only use that word when it applies, everybody thinks it's about a gadget, right? But the common denominator in every single domain of your life is you. Every single domain of your life, the common denominator is you. It's your ability to expand. It's your ability to contract when necessary. It is your ability to be flexible. And see, friends, it's not about what to believe, it's how to believe, right? Because sometimes, now think about this, you have a belief, again, one of our biggest fears is being separated from our tribe. So if I have a belief that was conditioned in my family, and I take on this belief about money, let's just use money for simplicity's sake, and this belief is out of alignment with what it is I truly want to create, because I have all these, like, money doesn't grow on trees, money is the root of all evil, right? Rich people are greedy, filthy rich, like all the things that we've been conditioned to believe. Like, go watch all of the Marvel movies, right? Like all the rich guys. Now it's finally like Tony Stark is one of, well, Batman too, but most of the villains in hero stories, the villains are the rich ones. So we are being conditioned to believe that money is evil, right? Just think about all the programming that's done around this, right? And the interesting thing, like there is a certain political party that does everything to demonize capitalism. But the interesting thing is if you look a little bit deeper, they are the ones that are more corrupt in capitalism, right? Like just look at who runs all the social media platforms. Of course, when I said this on TikTok, I got my ability to do lives taken away from me. Friends, understand, like there's so many clues going on that, but most people don't want to question what they believe, because them questioning what they believe makes them face their biggest fear, which is being separated from their tribe. That's just it, right? And cognitive dissonance is real, right? So these are all the things that create inconsistency, right? And this is why most people, this is why I said, doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. And doubt is in sync with guilt and shame, right? And so out of that is where we also, now where does the guilt and shame keep us tied to, is because of humiliating experiences, right? So we don't want to re-experiencing humiliate, blah. I see where that guy is, back up and rewind. We don't want to have humiliating experiences, but we've been raised in an educational system that says to fail means you're separated from the tribe, and then you have to go take special classes, or you get your F put out in front of the hallway so everybody in your class gets to see. Ouch, I bet that probably felt good on your ears. It didn't feel very good on mine. Everybody gets to see your F. And see, we have been raised to believe that our academics is what our identity has to do with it, right? Like I was just having a conversation with my mom the other day. I could not believe, well, actually, I do. I do believe it. But my mom said, you should go back to school. Like my mom has no idea, right? It just blew me away. Like, you need to go back to school. Like, what? Like, but that's how entrenched it is in our society, right? And you start going back and you start doing a little bit of due diligence and you start doing some critical thinking and you start understanding why the educational system has trained us and conditioned us to believe the way we believe, right? Is because it was all set up to make employees. Straight up, right? Like income tax is the biggest income tax or biggest tax bracket, the biggest, man, I cannot speak tonight. The biggest tax bracket, biggest percentage that we pay is income taxes, right? Like, and you start understanding that like 56% of every dollar you make goes to taxes. I would encourage you to start looking into being an entrepreneur at a whole other level, right? Because there's lots and lots and lots of tax shelters within inside of being an entrepreneur, right? Like pretty much everything I do is a tax write-off, right? And I've set it up that way because I value the money I make because I work hard for it, right? So being consistent, what is it that you want to create in your life? What is it that you want to create in your life? Now, when I ask most people, what is it they want in their life? The answer that I get back is what they don't want, right? Well, guess what? You keep focusing on what you don't want. That's the very thing that you're going to keep recreating, right? So what is it that you want in your life? Then getting real about what is it that's standing in the way, or what is in the gap of you creating what it is that you want in your life, right? And then getting real, like, are you in a relationship that doesn't support you? Or do you have beliefs that are holding you back from stepping into your greatness? Are there areas of your life that you don't want to get real about, right? Like whatever you don't want to get real about is going to show up. And when it shows, oh my gosh, I'm going to get emotional about this because this really landed for me today. So today I was watching a video on TikTok, and it was one of the America's Got Talent. And it was, what was her name? Night Angel or something like that. But she had cancer. She had cancer. And they were saying, like Simon was out talking to her, and Howie Mandel said, hey, like, are you okay? And she's like, I'm okay. And then they started talking to her, and she had cancer all over her body. He's like, wow, you're really not okay. And she said something like, we don't have to be good to decide to be okay. And she got up there and she just started singing her heart out. She ended up passing. And I was sitting there watching that, and I was like, why do we have to get so close to death? Like I have kissed death's door more times than I care to admit. Why do we have to get so close to death for us to really value life? Like that's a profound question. And I think about when I go to funerals, everybody's talking about this amazing person that is being celebrated, and I always ask myself, did you tell that person that while they were alive? Right? And when that this is when all the guilt comes up, right? And it's one of those things where we don't regret that when people pass and they ask the question, what is it that they regret in their life? It's not what they did, it's what they didn't do. It's what they didn't do. So, what is the song inside of you that you've always wanted to write? What is the book in you that you've always wanted to express? See, my grandma went to the grave with a lot of amazing books that she spoke all of my life. She talked about how she wanted to write books, and she never did. And she never did. And she took those to the grave with her, right? This is where our inadequacies, our doubts cost us so much, is it denies the world the stories that we get to share, right? And this is one of the things that Napoleon Hill talks about. Like like I've studied lots and lots of Napoleon Hill. In fact, I'm going to put this up there. Because in the ROI Accelerator Challenge, right, signing up for the VIP, you get my Laws of Success class that I put together. I've studied Laws of Success. Like I said, I've listened to Think and Grow Rich well over 300 times. But he said the thing that's astonished him more than anything after 16,000 interviews was people's inability to get honest about their inadequacies. See, it's how you hold your own inadequacies that determines how fast you accelerate through stuff. See, and how you characterize them and hold space for them is also going to determine how easily and effortlessly you transcend them, right? There's all kinds of things that I get to work on every single day. Every single day I get to work on stuff. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. There are days that I show up in ways that I wish I didn't, but I understand if I'm not sleeping, if I'm not eating right, if I'm not doing the things that I need to do to maintain that vibration, then I'm going to show up in ways that I don't really enjoy being with me, right? So, how do you hold your limitations? How do you hold decisions that you have made in the past? How do you hold your intelligence? How do you hold yourself when it comes to allowing somebody else in your life? How do you hold past experiences? All of these determine your ability to step into the unknown. Because if you don't hold space for them and love those versions of who you are going to be terrified of repeating them. And the fear of you repeating them is the very thing that is keeping you playing at the level that you're at, right? Because what you're going to do is you're going to believe someone else is going to perceive you the way you perceive you, right? So a thief is always going to be terrified that a thief is going to steal from them, right? So you beating yourself up is what you're going to project onto other people, right? These are the things that we do consistently. So if we want to change the autonomic patterns, then we have to get real about what they are, right? And this is what I love doing. This is why I love working with my clients. Like I 10x their lives, right? Literally. Like I have some clients that went from barely making $10,000 a month to making over $200,000 a month, right? Like I've got story after story. So let's just look at that one, right? Like I've many of them, right? Like created many 7, 8 figure entrepreneurs. Let's just go with a simple figure of 100, someone that makes $1 million a year. Like I supported and guided this person to, well, he's doing well over that now, but let's just go for simplicity's sake, makes $1 million a year. Okay. Started out making $10,000 a month when we started coaching. Now I was making, like I said, multiple 7 figures a year. So let's just go with that. So let's say someone's making $80,000 a year, right? And it is possible, like I've done it, to teach somebody how to make $1 million a year. So how much is it costing someone that's making $80,000 a year? How much is it costing them to not know these strategies that I show people? It is literally costing them $920,000 a year. That is our biggest expense, is what we don't know. That's our biggest expense, is what we don't know. And see, we keep investing into gadgets and we keep investing into strategies, right? Rather than investing into ourselves and learning the strategies so that we can move through the crunchy, gooey, stinky areas of our lives and passing those thresholds, right? The longest yard on the football field, the longest yard on the football field is the last yard before the end zone. That is where we come into with our thresholds, and we have to have the ability and the tools and the strategies to move through those thresholds. Otherwise, our body takes over and we shut down. And we convince ourselves what we really wanted to convince ourselves anyway. The doubt comes up and says, see, I knew it. I knew I wasn't going to make it, or nobody cares for me, or this always happens, or I don't have what it takes. This is too hard. Like, all these doubt and guilt and shame voices come up, and they win again. And this is why setting goals doesn't work. This is why setting goals doesn't work, right? It's not the goals. It's what are you really committed to? Are you committed to the version of you that you have right now more than committed to finding out what is possible for you, right? And I'll share this and then I'll wrap this up, right? Because, like, why do we want to go to a casino? We want a shortcut. We want a shortcut. Like, if I win the lottery, boom, everything's going to be okay. See, everything will be okay when you trust your ability to create that. That's when everything's going to be okay, right? Is once you trust your ability to create it, then you're going to know you deserve it. And then you're going to know you've paid the price and you've become the person to sustain whatever you're building on top of that, right? So I love speed. Like, I love speed. I love fast cars. I've always loved fast cars, fast motorcycles. Like, the faster, the better. Boats, whatever, right? I always used to say, if it doesn't have a clutch, I don't ride it. Like, I'm not a big fan of horses. Now I'd love to learn how to ride horses, right? But the thing with cars, and I just found this out with my car, like, all cars has a potential, right? Like, they all have the ability to find out what is the absolute potential of that car, right? Like, this is why I love Formula One, right? Because this is the epitome of the auto industry and finding out what is possible for cars, right? So finding out what the limit of that is. But see, I found out in my car, they have this wonderful thing called the governor, right? Like, I found out my car will only do, up until now, because I'm going to have my way with it, my car will only do 155 miles an hour, right? Because I hit the governor. They governed it out. They shut down the power of, this is as fast as this car will go, right? But see, now I know that that car will do more than that. And what I'm going to do is some things that are going to make it possible for that car to take that governor out, and I'm going to really find out what's that car's possible. But see, we all have governors inside of us. Those are the limitations. Those are the conditionings. Those are the doubts. Those are the beliefs. Those are what we truly value. Those are the commitments that we've made within ourselves. It's our subconscious that has created all these governors to keep us playing small, right? So do the same thing that I'm going to do with my car. Like, take it to a mechanic. They're going to put a new tune system in it, do some things to it, whiz bang it out, and he's going to do his expertise. And now my car is going to exceed what that governor stopped me from achieving. That's what I do with my clients, right? So in the ROI Accelerator Challenge, like, I just taught last night, like, the most incredible training that I've ever did that has been responsible. Like, the beginning of this year, ended up doing a workshop, 90, well, it's way over that now, but then it was like 95K, but it's gone into, like, way into the, like, probably pushing 200K now of what I created in the beginning of this year, right after last year, which my entire freaking life got nuked last year, right? This is what I'm teaching people in here so that you have no excuse. In fact, I pay you if you fail. I pay you if you fail, because failure is no longer an option once you go through what I teach you in the ROI Accelerator Challenge, right? Like, I give you the tools and the strategies to remove the governors within yourself, clean up your past, get rid of all your past and rewrite your past, right? To let that all go, get super clear on what it is that you want to create, and then being able to step into this space where you are the creator of your life. Like, literally, you are the creator of your life, because once you're able to do that, now you're no longer concerned about what somebody else is going to do for you, right? Because think about what happened in 2020. How many people felt secure in their nice jobs? The world got shut down, my friend. The world got shut down. And you know what? This is what's amazing. This past Christmas, I was walking, I was coming out of Walmart, and there was this Hispanic gal out there, and she had this box of all kinds of stuff, right? Like almond pretzels or white chocolate pretzels and all these things. And she goes, I'm man, I'm like this emotional. Um, she goes, I'm wanting to support. I want to get something for my daughter for Christmas, and that caught my attention. And I said, so tell me your story. What's going on? She goes, well, I was at a job and I would not take the job, and they fired me. Would not take the job, and they fired her. And so there she is out in front of Walmart selling these knickknacks and little things to eat and stuff like that you can put in Christmas stockings to raise enough money for her daughter to buy her a Christmas present. And I said, congratulations. Good for you for standing on what you value. Because I certainly get what it means, how many people have weaponized and demonized me for standing in my virtue. Like I wasn't going to get that no matter what. Nobody was going to put that crap in my body, right? And so I asked her how much she needed to get her gift, and I ended up giving it all to her, right? Because somebody stood up for what they believed in. That's freedom. Freedom is taking responsibility for your life and not giving it to somebody else that doesn't have to pay the price for you, right? Like think about it when it comes time for companies to back down or to lay off or cut back, guess what? They're going to lay you off. They care more about that business than they do you. That's the way business is run. It's not personal, right? So your greatest gift is for you to find out what it is you truly love to do, and then you figuring out how to make money doing it. That's true freedom. But freedom comes from eternal vigilance, right? Like if you give up your responsibility, my friend, you surrender your liberty. Right. And the greatest thing that I have ever come to a place is where I trust my own ability to be able to create what it is I want to create. And this is what I teach my clients, right? Like you are the one that's in charge of your economy. It's a great place to be, right? And it's not about getting crazy money and stuff like that. Like, what would it mean to you to be able to create multiple six figures and know how to do it? And then you could scale it however big you want to scale it. Like, what would that be worth to you? What would that be worth to you? And what would you be willing to do? Because see, the law of advancement requires us letting go of something in order for us to advance, right? What are you willing to give up in order for you to advance in your life? These are powerful questions. And I would encourage you to seriously consider them, right? So, dang, I just looked at this. I just looked at my calendar and recognized this will be the last live that I do this year. This will be the last one. So what are you going to do for 2023 that's going to be different, that's going to put you in a position to make 2023 the best year of your life? Everything comes down to intention, my friend. So if I were you, if I could make the strongest suggestion that I could ever make, because this is for you, this is designed to make you failure proof, right? The ROI Accelerator Challenge is all set up to do because I want to do every single thing I can to support you in making 23 the best year of your life. I know that it works. It's not a matter of if it works. It has worked multiple times over and over. It's just a matter of you letting go of what keeps you from stepping into taking and investing in yourself. Like, I think it's $27. Like, get on the waiting list and you'll see, right? Like, I guarantee you, I will pay you if you fail. There's no reason to fail. Like, it's all taken care of for you, right? Like, I give you my life's work in that challenge, right? And where I'm at today, you don't get from where I came from to where I'm at today. You just don't, right? Like, I had a friend of mine tell me one time, and it blew me away. He said, Jeff, someday you're going to realize how big of a miracle you are. And I was like, what does that mean? And he says, people that have gone through what you have gone through make people like Charles Manson. I was like, I mean, I didn't even know how to take that. But see, just like that video that I watched today of America's Got Talent, my life, not only my life, it actually wasn't my life that almost ended that got my attention. It was my sister's life. My sister's life almost ended as a result of my behavior. That's what it took for me to get my attention. Don't don't wait until you're ready to lose everything before you decide to change. You have the ability to choose now, to invest into who you are and to find out what's possible for you. And that's what the ROI Accelerator Challenge is all about, is for you to accelerate your greatest investment, which is you. You are your greatest investment, right? So allow me the opportunity to show you what is possible for you, to remove the governors in your life and to find out how you can actualize your fullest potential in your life, in all the domains of your life, whatever it is: health, relationships, money, spirituality, personal development, whatever it is. I show you how to reach what it is that you really want to reach. Okay, so do yourself a favor, go sign up for the ROI Accelerator Challenge. It'll be the best thing that you have ever invested into. I promise you. I promise you. Why? Because it had changed my life, and you don't get from where you're at to where I'm at. Like, this is my mission. This is my life, right? And I want to give you my life's work. I want to do everything I can to support you, but I can only do it if you would decide to do it for yourself. Okay. So I appreciate everybody being here. Happy New Year. Helen, thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you being here. Much love. Much love. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I appreciate you taking your time and being a part of these lives. It means the world to me. And again, if you're watching this live, type live, or if you're watching replay, type in replay. But Happy New Year. And may 2023 be the most epic year of your life. And set that intention. Set that intention that 2023 is going to be the most epic year of your life, because it is your intention that is the catalyst to everything in your life. It is your intentions, whether you do it consciously or subconsciously. Your intentions are what really create the quality of your life. So, my friend, much love. Happy New Year, and may it be filled with magic. May you receive love in ways that you didn't even comprehend. May you be touched by divine, by God, by universe, whatever you want to call that, to the depths of your soul. And may you come to a place where you believe that anything is possible. And that may you honor and cherish that nobody in this world is, has, or will have the ability to do what you can do on this earth. Only you can do that, my friend. And I want to do everything I can to support that, because I know you have incredible things inside of you that this world needs, that only you can provide. So may you receive that, may you stand in that, may you invest in that, and may that be the intention for 2023. Much love, my friend, and I will see you in next year. Be blessed.